We've now reached the finale of 2024. Yep, you heard me right. Only 31 days left in 2024. How will you finish the year? You'll find out today in Astro Numerology Reveals. Hello, everyone, and please help me welcome back our returning guest, our numerical guru, Astro Numerologist LLoyd Strayhorn. How are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you, Miss Kimbaley?
I'm doing fine. What have you been up to in November?
Well, November was an interesting month. It was really kind of busy for the most part. It was kind of like really doing some things on a whole different level. I was very busy, um, things of that nature. So it was, and you know what's interesting? One of the things I talked about for Aquarians last month was the first week about going to a medical checkup. And unbeknownst, I had a doctor's appointment that week. Okay. I says, wow. Because I don't read myself, but only after the appointment was said and I was sitting in the doctor's office, I said, I think I said something about Aquarians getting a checkup. So hopefully all Aquarians or most Aquarians got a checkup, especially we men, because we men don't like to get checkups, but I did, and everything came out. My blood work was great, that was personally rewarding, So I'm very, very happy.
You know what's so funny? You got a dose of your own medicine because you talked junk about Virgos last month.
I tried not to, listen. We all go through cycles. Some are higher, some are lower, and that's basically how we work it. You
So
know.
you had to take the very advice that you gave to Virgo last month. So see Virgos, you got them back. You got
Yeah,
'em back.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
man. So, but it was okay. It was okay.
My November was okay. Yeah.
I was about to ask about you.
Yeah. It was pretty good. Busy. You know, it's been busy since the preview month, since October. Or
Yeah,
just a
but
little
that
bit
makes sense
before.
looking at the cycle personally that you're going through because it's going to be a time really for you to really be busy, really be active. And if I'm not mistaken, your theme was really about being a trailblazer. This time it's a whole different theme. And just you wait.
I like the relaxing, calm two year, the patient year.
Well, it's almost somewhat fitting. It's almost like you jumped the gun on the theme, but you will just have to wait. And all Leos thereafter too.
I think I'm up for it. I know I'm
We
up
shall
for it.
see. We shall see.
We will see. We
But let
will
me
see.
say this too before we go any further. You especially, are to be commended that we've done something. Normally, I've never done something like this before where we've done it. Started out just as would you like to do January? And here it is, 12 months later. We've gone full circle. We've gone full circle. And I'm very proud of the fact, and it shows that we're consistent. The people's response seemed to be very much on point that helps them, which is what really matters, because that's what it's about. That we're both raising people's consciousness, awareness, and helping them. And now I hear more people say, well, what stone, what color? And if it included, well, what color did he say? What stone did he say? So those are more positive influences. And for that, so I'm looking forward to finishing up this month. And then, as we know, we've already also done, even before this month of December, is we did the 2025 forecast for the entire year, explaining month for January, the month for February, March, April, May, all the way through December. So it is nice.
You know, I have been looking for the video that I don't know if you remember, but it was one video before the January forecast, and that was the forecast for 2024. And I was looking for that video months ago, but could not find it. And yesterday I was just going through my feed and it popped up. And I'm like, wow, this is the anniversary date for the very first
I'd
one
like
that
to hear
we
what
ever.
was said then and how things have come as we wrap up this last month of 2024.
So we ran a marathon
Yep, yep,
in
yep. And we almost at the
2024.
finish line, and we're going to finish it this month.
Yep, and it's almost finished. You know, we are at the finish line. We're almost there. We just got a few more steps until
And
we
then we
make
got
it.
new concepts coming up for next year, 2025.
Yep. Oh, and I'm excited about that
Yeah,
too.
so it's going to
Yeah.
be interesting. People are going to say, well, that sign shouldn't go before this sign. Yes, it does. So we'll see. We'll see.
So the month of December, a lot of people pay attention to December.
Mm-hmm.
One of the reasons there are a few holidays in December. Oh, so let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
What about this famous birthday for December? December 25th.
Well, that's Christmas Day, as people know. That's Little Richard's birthday, also, the singer, and a couple other famous people of note. It is a celebration of Christ and whatnot, and it adds to a seven, but totally, December of 2024 adds up to a master number 11. Now, how did I get it? Simple. I put December 12 underneath it, 2024, added my columns down and added the 2036, which equals 11. So you can reduce it to a 2, but for colleagues and those in numerology know that 11 is considered a master number. So therefore, anybody who is born on the 11th, their name adds up to an 11. Their destiny, which is the month, the day, and the total of the year adds up to an 11. It's going to be a very important month for them numerically. Astrologically, if they are a Leo like you, or an Aquarius like me, or a Cancer, they will be the beneficiaries as well. It's going to be a period where people are highly inspirational. It's going to be about achievements, attainments, accomplishments. It's going to be taking things to a whole nother level. It's a very visionary cycle. So people should come up with all kinds of creative ideas, concepts, things like that. It's a leadership number because the 11 is composed of two ones, which are leadership numbers. And it's composed of creativity and advancement and a futuristic mindset. And as I look at the galaxy in the background of our display here, that's exactly where you're going for the 11 in December. It's a fire period. It's ruled the sign of Sagittarius toward the end after the 21st. It goes into the earth sign of Capricorn. For the first 21 days, it is ruled by the element of fire. So those under the signs of Leo, which is fire, Aries, which is fire, they will be the recipients of this first 3 weeks. But speaking of that, of the first 3 weeks, two of them from the 1st through the 15th of December, Mercury will be retrograde. Mercury went retrograde on the 25th of last year during Thanksgiving week and will stay there until December the 15th. And it will end at 3:42 or something like that in the evening. But the point, in fact, it will end at 3:56 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the 15th of December. But in addition to that, there's always, for people who understand about, especially astrologers and colleagues, there's always the shadow effect. So though it ends officially on the 15th, that means it's going to spill over almost about practically Christmas Day. So when Mercury is retrograde, which governs communications, um, phones, cars, writing, all kinds of things. So there's a careful saying, be careful how you say things, when you say things. Don't jump to conclusions. Don't, well, you know what I mean. No, I don't know what you mean. You cannot speak in general terms when Mercury is retrograde. And especially since we're in a fire, because fire represents impulsiveness. So that would only exacerbate this situation even more if one is not aware. So take your time, be careful in how you communicate, try not to talk too fast. Okay? Little things like that. And
So I
so,
have to remember that.
and it's going to be kindness and brotherhood to a higher consciousness because
And
this
that
moon is the number two.
is that for the entire month of December?
The entire month of December. So every one of us, to greater or lesser degrees, will feel this energy. Now, whether some of us act upon it is a whole nother situation. But these are what the cosmic things are breaking in. See, it's what you may have in mind, but what the stars have in mind, the stars are always more powerful. So that's the thing to understand. So the thing is to be in lockstep with the universe. That's always the best modality to do, you know?
So what can we expect for the zodiac signs?
Well, this was the part I was waiting for because I couldn't wait to get to these zodiac signs. So, if your sun, moon, or ascendant is in the sign of Aries, your theme this month is to be cooperative. And that's not easy for an Aries. Aries are bold, dynamic, impulsive, assertive, but teamwork is going to go a long, long way for all Aries this particular month. And especially in the first week, because the first week is going to find them busy. They're going to be working on a new and improved image of themselves. And so, in that regard, one of the things is about maybe partnering with somebody who's got a lot of drive and ambition. As they go into the second week, which is important, especially on the 10th and 11th, the moon will actually be sitting in their sign of Aries. So they're going to find themselves emboldened to be more structured, have a sense of order and purpose in their cooperation. And cooperation, especially means working in a team spirit. Aries are known to be pioneers, loners, very independent and self reliant. But this month, for them, as we end the last month of 2024, says you got to think as a team, you got to think of a unit, you got to think in terms of harmony. And especially as they go into the third week, it indicates a trip is indicated. And so that would be somewhere around the third Wednesday of the month or somewhere around the 14th through the 16th, give or take a time for them where they'll probably be doing some traveling. Of course, it is the Christmas holidays, but then again, don't forget much of this first couple of weeks, Mercury will be retrograde. So it's in the best interest of Aries to really slow it down and whatnot. But as they go into the closing week, they're going to have to make some adjustments, especially on the 23rd, 24th, and 25th, when the moon is in their opposition sign of Libra. And so it just simply means to take it easy, but to focus on things related close to home, their appearance, their home, their family, things of that nature, and they'll find that they should do well. They're going to find that those who are going to be assisting them in the month of December will be those under the signs of Cancer, although astrologically, Mars and the moon are normally opposition planets. But believe it or not, Cancer will help you. If not, they will likely be born on the 2nd or the 7th, the 11th, the 16th, the 20th, the 25th, or the 29th of the month. And as for the color to wear, they should wear creams. Normally, red is mostly associated with Leos and Aries, but where the colors are cream, and cream comes in all different shades. And the stone to wear for them is moonstone. Now, what about Taurus? Okay, if your sun, moon, or ascendant is in the sign of Taurus, the theme this month is about business. That is right up a Taurus's alley, right there. It's about the business of business. Can we handle our business? Okay. And in fact, Taurus rules the second house in the wheel of the zodiac, which rules the house of possession. Okay. The New York Stock Exchange, which deals in business, stock, and trades, is about business. So Tauruses should really, really be in their element. And in fact, this opening week is going to be a period of fulfillment. And so they can either begin to cut losses, because Tauruses believe in saving every penny they can get their hands on, or doing something to make what they want in terms of their dreams come true financially. Because in the second week, especially around the 12th and the 13th, when they begin to step out on faith, the moon will actually be sitting in their sign of Taurus. So in that second week, somewhere around the second Sunday, around the 10th of the month, they're going to find it a very, very interesting period where a lot of people under Taurus might think about getting raises, promotions, going out on their own, quitting jobs to step out on faith, to be more daring and innovative in the things they've got to do. So in that third week, from the 14th to the 15th to the 21st, they're going to find that patience is going to go a long way, and they can catch more bees with honey. Now, Tauruses can be very bullheaded, so to speak, nothing personal, okay? But it is saying instead of using a bullheaded approach, take an approach where it's a cooperation, because it is about handling your business. And in order to handle your business, sometimes you got to come with things in a way that's cooperative, because no man is an island. No person can do everything by themselves. Because what's important is you go into the final week on the 6th, the 26th, and the 27th, when the moon is sitting in your opposition sign of Scorpio. Then you might be tested a little bit more than you need to. So it's about how to handle your business, and also in terms of laying the foundation or the cornerstone to what you want as we begin to step into the brand new year of 2025. Who's going to help you? Capricorns are going to help them. Okay. Aquarians are going to help them. Librans and those that are born on the 8th, the 16th, the 17th, excuse me, or the 26th of the month. As far as the color is concerned, they should wear black, all shades of black, and the stones to wear or carry other than shungite, which I should have mentioned for Aries in addition to moonstone, would be shungite and onyx. Those would be the colors for them. Now, what about Geminis? Well, if your sun, moon, or ascendant is in the sign of Gemini, you know what the theme is for them? Tranquility. Now, what that means, and this ain't easy for a Gemini, because they like to be on the go. They always like to be on the move. But they're saying just slow it down, hit the brakes, think in terms of being tranquil. You can catch more scenery by taking your time than going a zillion miles an hour. Not that anybody can go a zillion miles an hour, but the point is to use that sense of calmness, that sense of control over things, and taking your time to observe and take advantage of things that's happening, because this is going to be very important, because on the very first 2 days of December, the moon is going to be sitting in your opposition sign of Sagittarius. And therefore, it tells you that when you start out the gate, start out a little carefully, and especially where money matters is concerned, because this month for all Geminis tells me you're going to be in a very reflective, soul-searching period, looking to get to the bottom of answers in the first week, especially since it's in the opposition on the first and second, is going to affect how your finances are going to flow. Paying a bill, how money is going in and money is going out. But in the second week, that's when you're going to get a chance to kind of fulfill some dreams, to manifest some things. And although it could be kind of like in a period with Mercury being retrograde and that week being an impulsive week, to still think in terms of tranquility, to not let anything ruffle your feathers under any circumstances, no matter how tempting it may be. Because Geminis can curse somebody out in a heartbeat. You ask a Gemini, they'll tell you, yeah, they taking their mother to church. They'll curse somebody out if they, cut in front of them. So that's what I'm looking at. Now going into the third week, around the 14th and the 15th, that's when the moon is going to be sitting in Gemini's sign. And that's going to allow them to begin to really make a move. Also, what's happening, because Gemini rules, Mercury's ruled Gemini, its own sign, of all the signs that will be affected with this Mercury retrograde during the first 3 weeks, is going to be Gemini, along with Virgo, because Mercury is also the ruler of Virgo, which we'll get there too. But in the meantime, it says take your time, just be patient. And then on the back end of the month, whereby it is about maybe partnering with other people, you're going to have to be a little bit more careful, because somewhere around the 28th and the 29th, the moon is going to be sitting in your stress sign. It will cause a degree of challenges. So it just simply means read the fine print, make sure that whatever you're hearing, it's one thing to think. You ever have this situation where you heard one thing, but they really said another thing? Well, that's what Geminis are going to have to be careful in the last week to say, oh, now I see. I thought you said this. No, I said that. Who's going to help them will be Pisces will help them. Cancers will help them. And anybody born on the 2nd to 7th, 11th to 16th, the 20th to 25th, or the 29th of the month. And the color they should wear is lilac. And over and above the stone they should wear or carry should be shungite and opal. Now, what about cancers? If your sun, moon, or ascendant is in the sign of Cancer, the theme is stability. And that's perfect for a Cancer because Cancer always represents home, family, security, the mother principle, the protective principle. So Cancers need to think in terms of just being steadfast because it is a water period which governs emotions. And that means highs and lows, all depending on what day of the week you catch them in. But no matter what, for all Cancers, stay focused. Try to stay stable as much as possible. Try to stay consistent throughout this whole period. And especially because the first week is going to bring about a change, especially in the third and the fourth week when the moon is in their opposition sign. So it means they're going to have to be a little more diplomatic, and then Mercury's going to be retrograde too. So it tells me that first Wednesday or somewhere around the 5th, they have to be a little bit mindful of being less impulsive, but think in terms of more being steadfast in terms of getting what you want. But as they go into the second week, this is the week that they're going to have. This is a good money and relationship week for them. And especially around that second Friday or somewhere around the 14th or the 15th, give or take a day or two. But it indicates going back to school, starting your own savings plan if you haven't had one in a while, beginning to stabilize relationships if things have been a little bit shaky. And as you go into the third week, everything is going to be reflective. You're going to be thinking about why do things happen. But when you are stable, you're able to stay focused. You're able, because if things are all jerky and moving around, it's hard to stay focused. But the fact that the theme is about stability, and as long as you maintain that attitude, you will find that the only thing about the third week is you're just going to want to get away from people for a while. To just kind of be left alone and not be bothered, and why not? And so you're going to find that in the final week, because we'll be out of Mercury retrograde, we'll be going into the sign of Capricorn then, which is your opposition sign, that actually financially things are on the horizon. But more importantly, it indicates maybe someone from the past comes into the life. It begins to make all the difference in the world. Now, who's going to help Cancers? Well, I'm glad you asked me. Aquarians are going to help Cancers. Leos are going to help Cancers. Geminis are going to help Cancers. Or anybody born on the 1st or the 4th, the 10th or the 13th, the 19th, the 22nd, the 28th, or the 31st of the month. And the color to wear is whites from the lightest to the darkest because they got all shades of whites nowadays. And the stone to wear or carry, the crystals, which should be shungite and serpentine. Now, what about Leos? I know Leos have been wanting to hear this. Well, if your sun, moon, or ascendant is in the sign of Leo, the theme is being optimistic, to establish a sense of well-being, to be happy. Okay, people don't realize Leos is one of the most. A lot of people pull on Leos because Leos rule the sun. Leo is a rulership number. So a lot of people will be pulling, but the whole thing for them is to be, despite whatever negativities that will come your way, because you got haters, that's going to be part of it, is to stay optimistic, to stay focused, to stay in a state of happiness and well-being. And as they used to say in the old days, don't let nobody steal your joy, girl. Okay? That's what's happening for them. And so is going to be important because the 5th, the 6th, and the 7th, as we come out of the first week of December, is going to be in your opposition sign of Aquarius. So it simply means to avoid impulsiveness. But the nice thing about it is you're going to really be more structured and organized and having a plan of how you're going to do things. And it's going to be a very busy cycle too. It's going to be creative, imaginative, expressive, and especially as you go into that second week from the 8th to the 14th, it indicates it's going to be a dramatic change. It's like you're going to be at a crossroads, and at this juncture, you're going to have to make a decision which way you're going to go further with the rest of your month. As you end it, going into 24th, going into 2025, should I go this way or that way? But the basic thing is about establishing a sense of well-being to create happiness, and above all, being more optimistic no matter how many slights and stuff comes your way. Around the 18th and the 19th, as we go into the second half of the week, that's when the sun is going to be sitting in your sign. You're going to see things in a much more favorable light. Conditions of things will be much better. And especially somewhere around that third Friday or somewhere around the 15th or so, that's when something's going to happen. Maybe go to school, take a course or seminar or retreat. But as you go into the last days of December, going into the sign from transiting Sagittarius, which is friendly to your sign of Leo, into Capricorn, which is an earth sign, because sometimes earth smothers fire. You know, the rule is if you look at the elements, water will sometimes drown fire. And if you can't get water, you get earth. So if you feel a little smothered for whatever reason, that may make sense. But the point is, you're going to want to get away from everybody. You're not going to want to be bothered with anybody. People may say, girl, come to the holidays, come around to the Christmas things. And the thing is, nah, I don't feel like it. That would kind of make sense. Now, who's going to help you? Sagittarians and Pisces are going to help you. And those that are born on the 3rd, the 12th, the 21st, and the 30th of the month. The color to wear is orange, okay? And the stone to wear or carry for to carry for the month is shungite and a diamond, which I think is interesting, okay? Now, what about Virgos? Okay, Virgos going to like this too. Well, all the signs I think hopefully like this, because it ain't easy picking themes each month. You know what I'm saying? These themes be rotating. I say, oh boy. Okay, but if your sun, moon, or ascendant is in the sign of Virgo, you know what your theme is? Wisdom. That is so cool, because in the zodiac sign of Virgo, it is I analyze. In order to analyze, you must have a sense of wisdom and understanding and an inner knowing, so to speak. It's going to be a period whereby the laws of attraction will be very, very spectacular in your favor. It's going to be a point where not chasing after anything, but using the wisdom to bring that knowledge to you in the things of that nature. And especially as you open up the first week, because the first week is you're going to be taking a more wisdom approach about your finances. Is it wise for me to spend money on this? Is it wise for me to give money on that person? Is it wise for me to hold on to my money while Mercury is retrograde so I don't blow my stuff trying to help somebody? Okay, because Virgo is a human sign and therefore they will act in humane ways. So don't let anybody's pity parties separate you from your funds, not when Mercury is retrograde in the first couple of days. As you go into the second week around the 8th and the 9th, when the moon is in your opposition sign of Pisces, it means just be a little bit more diplomatic. And also, Virgos may find themselves a little bit more antsy. They're not having it from nobody. They're not taking it. So that meek, mild Virgo, that thing is going to come out and they're going to check everybody. All right. So if people get their feelings hurt, you can't be said y'all didn't hear about a Virgo. Okay. Don't be messing with them at night. And especially in that 8th and 9th when the moon is in their stress sign, they may not be feeling you or feeling anything. But as they go into the third week, and as they start entering the second half, things are going to be better because they're going to feel a sense of more independence, more directions, and how best to use their wisdom to move forward into the balance of the month. And because around that time, around the 20th, the 21st, 22nd, that's when the moon is sitting in their sign of Virgo. So they're going to find that now I got a better sense. Now I can see how to apply my wisdom in a more wiser, more broader perspective to take advantage of everything. And then as we go into the final week, it's going to be seeing how they can put all the pieces together, how they can harmonize everything. And they're going to find that it's going to be a very, very important time for them to say, yes, I'll join this and join that. So if people come to ask you to come on board, to join with me, join with that, use the wisdom and the discernment to find out whether it's in your best interest or not. But sometimes people got an agenda. A whole lot of people got agendas nowadays. So one can't be too careful. And for Virgos I analyze, wisdom is definitely the theme for you to have this month. Who's going to help you? Well, Pisces and Cancers, and those that are born on the 2nd to 7th, the 11th to 16th, the 20th, the 25th, and the 29th of the month. Now, the color they should wear, believe it or not, is lavender, and the stone they should wear or carry over and above shungite is amethyst. And by the way, for those of you, if you want to know how you get these stones, all you got to do is go on Amazon. You can order them, or they've got Google crystal stores and whatnot. They'll tell you about crystals and whatnot. There's a whole lot of ways you can get your crystals. You may not have these exact crystals for this particular month in your home, but they are definitely applicable. For those under the signs, if your sun, moon, or ascendant is in the sign of Libra, the theme this month for you is material comfort. Don't nobody love comfort like a Libra. Don't nobody love beautiful things like a Libra, okay? This theme for them is right up their alley, okay? You say how much, they say, I take it, okay? It's like that, all right? So what do I mean by material comforts? It's nice to have things, but this first week says that first part of the theme is you got to learn how to let go. You can't just hold on to things forever, especially if you want to make your life more comfortable. Sometimes we can accumulate too much where things can be overbearing. But since the theme is about material comfort, let go of those things you've outgrown. Let go of that dress you can't fit back in like forever, okay? Let go of some other things that you've been holding on to that makes life a little burdensome so you can be a little bit more materially comfortable this particular month. Also, as you go into the second week, you'll find you'll be in a more independent sense of thinking. Yet on the 10th and 11th, the moon will be sitting in your stress sign, and it'll be sitting in your opposition sign of Aries. So it means that if you're feeling a little antsy, a little bit lot of out of sorts, that would make sense. And especially because the week is going to say, that particular week says you're going to have to make a decision to stand on your own, make independent decisions, but you need to have a clear mind, especially when it comes to all material comforts in your life, okay, to make sure that things are straight. Now, what's happening as you go into the second half, things are going to start coming more your way. Things are going to slow down where you can finally get a grip on things. By that time, you should be settled about what you're letting go so your life can be more materially comfortable, where you can be more happy in whatever you got. Because sometimes too much of is just as bad as none of. And that's the lessons that Libras are going to learn. However, they're going to find that as they go into the balance of the week, around the last Thursday or somewhere around the 21st or the 30th of the month, but especially on the 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th, when the moon is actually sitting in your sign of Libra, you're going to do very, very well. So think positive, think optimistic, think, I'm going to do it no matter what anybody says. But the point is to establish that material comfort that makes only Libyans feel so well about. God bless their souls. The people who are going to help them will be Capricorns, Aquarians, and Libras, or anybody born on the 8th, the 17th, or the 26th of the month. And the color they should wear is anything dark green. And the stone they should wear or carry should be shungite and aventurine. Those would be the colors and the stones they should wear or carry. I had an idea. I think next week we might touch on health a little bit for 2025, but I just got that source of inspiration. Anyway, Scorpios, okay? If your sun, moon, or ascendant is in the sign of Scorpio, the theme is relationships. Make it or break it. Relationships have all kinds of levels. People think because they're not in a marriage relationship or boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, you got to understand we're always in relationship. Whether it starts with our mom and dad, brothers and sisters, neighbors, friends, frenemies, people we know, co-workers, boyfriends, girlfriends, children. Relationships take on many levels. So, but for Scorpios, they're going to have to be a little bit more discerning about the relationship, because the relationship cycle they happen to be in is in. This is a time to break things up. This is a time to mend fences. This is a time to bring people together for the common good. So it all depends on what the goal of the relationship is. Now you got to understand, I'm talking about Scorpios in general, but when you get into specifics about the month and date of birth within that Scorpio, that might modify. But the theme overall is about establishing relationship, especially taking a more optimistic approach in a very opening week to make say, okay, whatever relationship I'm going to form, let it be for the better. As they go into the second week around the 12th or the 13th, when the moon is sitting in their opposition sign of Taurus, they may not feel like I want to be in a relationship. They might feel that I need some space, I need to break up. But the point of the relationship is they need to take it easy, take their time, work out the details, don't overlook things, because those minor little nuts and bolts in life that can make all the difference in a relationship. You know what's so interesting? If you're sitting, I'm sitting here at this table, right? Well, if I take all the nuts and bolts out, I'll be doing the rest of this interview sitting on the floor, kind of looking up to see if I can see you. So think of, for Scorpios, think of the nuts and bolts of life. That how can you mend fences? How can you? It all depends on what their attitude is. And so, and as they go into the third week, that's going to be the period of change. Soon as they enter the second half of the month, they're going to feel a native change, a sense of urgency. And then toward the end of the month, that's when they're going to go through a phase that's going to affect their home life, their personal life, their financial life, especially with the moon sitting there around the 26th and the 27th of the month. Now, who is likely to help them? Cancers, of course, and those that are born on the 2nd or the 7th. Notice this date comes up a lot this month for them, but then we're in an 11 universal month. So who's going to help Scorpios? The 2nd or the 7th, the 11th or the 16th, the 20th, 25th, or the 29th of the month. The color that Scorpio should wear for the month of December is green, from the lightest to the darkest. And the stone to wear or carry should be jade. Yeah, I try to see some of these signs in some of these colors too, because I know these are not the original colors, but you got to understand, based upon the cyclical cycles that they're going through each and every month, things will change. Now, what about Sagittarius? Sagittarius, well, if your sun, moon, or ascendant is in the sign of Sagittarius, the theme is about diversity. And don't forget, Sagittarius is a mutable sign. And we're also in their birthday month. So if Sagittarians are feeling themselves, okay, and things of that nature, as my mother used to say, oh, you feeling yourself? That would be about right for them, because they're ready to take off. They're ready to travel. They're ready to take advantage of any and all opportunities to diversify their talents, their gift, their skills, and ability. This is why almost all the comedians that make you laugh have come under the sign of Sagittarius, from Richard Pryor, Red Fox, Flip Wilson, Rodney Dangerfield, Dave Kinison. You know, they're all under that sign. So yes, diversify, but it's not so much to make people laugh as well, because a lot of the entertainers come there, but diversify to show other skills, develop another talent, learn a second language. Those kinds of things will be very important for them, especially on the first and the second, when the sun is actually sitting in their sign. So it's going to be a new moon around the first and the second of the month of Sagittarius with the moon. But don't forget, Mercury, the planet of retrograde, which is your opposition planet to Jupiter, will still be sitting in your sign in the first 2 weeks. So don't get too kind of cocky with your diversity, and don't diversify yourself out of nothing where you wind up with nothing. But in the second week, especially on the 14th and the 15th, when the moon is sitting actually in the sign of Gemini, I should say, that's when you can need to really, really take it easy. Plus, Mercury retrograde will be winding itself down on the 15th, exactly when it ends, but there's going to be a shadow effect that carries itself over. So make sure you're thinking clearly about what you want, how you want to get it, and try your best during that week not to chase after things, because it's in the third week going into the second half that then you can chase after the money. Then you can chase after the career. But in order to do that, diversity is going to be a very important rule or way of getting it, to diversify all your skills. You know, they'll talk about, do you have a diversified portfolio? Do you have stock? Do you have real estate? Do you have precious metals? Do you have this, that, and the other? Diversify. So that's how Sagittarians are going to have to be thinking in that third week. The last week, going into the final home stretch of this month because I consider all December Sagittarius birthday. I'm sure they do too. Okay. Well, on the 28th and the 29th, when the moon is actually sitting in your sign, I would expect it to be a wonderful close to the year of 2024. And so, whatever talents, gifts, skills, and abilities you have, diversify them, show them off. Not to be in a flaunting, egotistical nature, but to show you what you have to offer this world and close out the year 2024 on a very solid note. Now, who's going to help you? Believe it or not, Virgo, your opposition sign of Gemini, or people that are born on the 5th, the 14th, or the 23rd of any month. The color to wear is yellow, from all shades of yellow, and the stone to wear or carry over and above shungite is sapphire, yellow sapphire at that. Okay. Now, what about Capricorn? If your sun or your moon or your ascendant is in the sign of Capricorn, the theme is about being reasonable, not jumping to conclusions, because we're going to be in the critical cycle for Capricorns anyway, the first couple of weeks, because it's going to be in Sagittarius. Only from the 22nd to the end will it get into your sign. But don't forget, Mercury's going to end on the 15th of December, but the spillover is still going to be almost until Christmas, a little after that. So be reasonable. You know, Capricorns being earth signs, they can be rock steady. They can make up, and that's all well and good. But this particular time says you must be reasonable. You must use common sense. You must be ready to adjust. Although it is a cardinal sign representing the beginning of the seasons, which is very good, at the same time, they're going to have to allow for a little bit of flexibility, be more reasonable as against steadfast. And this is going to be very important because in the very first week, it suggests on the third and the fourth, when the moon is actually sitting in your sign, to be think in terms of working with a team, think in terms of making that teamwork effort, because after that, going into the third week, a lot of things are going to be very busy. Try not to let people catch you up in scandals and nonsense and drama and things of that nature, but do your best to be as more creative and expansive and optimistic as possible. It's in that third week, going into the third Sunday, somewhere around the 13th or so, that you're going to have to be a little mindful of things. And that's going to be actually on the 16th and the 17th, where the moon is going to be sitting in your opposition sign of Cancer. So it simply means try not to just be unreasonable, shall we say. So as to be reasonable, try not to be unreasonable, if that makes sense, all right? Try not to put on your worst face, but show your best face. And it's going to be a very odd and unusual occurrence, too. So don't expect everything to go according to plans. Capricorn being an earth sign, they like to have things go by one A, then B, then C, then D. That's not going to happen in the third week, especially with Mercury being retrograde anyway. Because that's when all your plans that you think about goes west on you as it going the way you want. And it's going to be kind of as they go into the last week, where they're going to be a little bit more to their favor, actually on the 30th and the 31st, the very last 2 days of Capricorn, as we end the year of December, going into the new year, officially their month. They're going to find that the moon being in their sign will give them that breathing room. And I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't do some traveling, if they're going out of town for a weekend or whatever, because normally Capricorns like to stay home. But a lot of Capricorns may find themselves in a more travel modality. The people that's going to help them will be Leos, Aquarians, and Aries, or they'll be born on the 1st or the 4th, the 10th or the 13th, the 19th, 22nd, 28th, or 31st of any month. The color they should wear, believe it or not, is red, which is normally not a Capricorn color, because normally they stay into the into black. But this particular month says that anything red, they ain't got to be litmus red, okay? Just a kind of cool, laid-back red, because Capricorns are conservative, so a little laid-back red will do. And their particular stone will be diamond as well, along with shungite. Now, what about Aquarians, okay? I know y'all been waiting, okay? Adjustability. I can hear some Aquarians say, man, because Aquarius is a fixed sign. They don't want to adjust to nothing. This is how I do it. This is how I'm going to do it, whether you like it or not. You know, But the source is saying, no, 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 no. You got to be adjustable, buddy. You got to go with the flow. Well, I want to do it my way. Well, the theme says you're going to have to use some adjustability here. You're going to have to kind of be a little fluid, okay? Kind of go with this thing. But it's going to be good because it's going to affect the principles around home and family and health. And especially in that first week when you're very, very reflective, when the moon is sitting in your sign on the 5th, 6th, and 7th of the month in the sign of Aquarius. And it simply means a time where you should look about how you're going to move your life forward, how you're going to move your relationships forward, how you're going to adjust in terms of your health and things of that nature. That's going to be very important because as you go from the week of the 8th to the 14th, that deals with relationships and finances. And because you have to learn how to be adjustable in this particular cycle, it means don't be rigid that the only thing I only spend on this, that I got to be fluid and be adjustable if I got to spend something on something that hasn't been anticipated or whatever, but to learn how to adjust. And it's not easy for us Aquarians. Yes, I'm dragging myself into it because I know I can be stubborn as all get out. So, but we're going to have to be flexible. That is the point. And actually, it's in the third week around the 18th and the 19th when the moon is sitting in the opposition sign of Leo that having the ability to adjust is going to be very important because the moon will be in an opposition sign of Leo, which is fixed, like Aquarius, which is fixed. And so if you're setting your ways around that time, you're going to find that things not going to be working. Plus, we'll just come out of Mercury retrograde and we'll still be in the shadow effect. So, and because it deals with the period where Mars is going to be aspecting that week, to be very careful what you say, how you drive, how you speak, how you handle knives, machines, and sharp instruments. But as you go into the final week, it's going to be more into the liking as you close out the year. Because what a lot of people don't know, the original rulership to Aquarius was once Saturn that governs the Capricorn period. So Aquarians will find that if they play their cards right the first 3 weeks, then the last week should be more in their favor where they feel the sense of, okay, now I can look forward to going into the year 2025 on a more stable note. Who will help them? Well, those on the signs of Taurus and Libra will help them, or people born on the 6th, the 15th, or the 24th. And the color they should wear, believe it or not, is blue from the lightest to the darkest. And they will find that the stone to wear or carry over and above shungite should be shungite and emerald. And finally, I know Pisces is saying it's about time you got to the brother. Okay. If your sun, moon, or ascendant is in the sign of Pisces, the theme for you this month, this final month of 2024 of December, is about movement. Okay. Well, first of all, you're a water sign anyway. Water always flows. They will tell you water that don't flow will become stagnant and stale. So think in terms of a babbling brook, a waterfall, a river, something. You know what I'm saying? But just don't be stagnant. Don't be catching those stagnation. So when I say movement, to be more ready to not just say, okay, I'm just going to stay here and whatnot like that, but to be a little bit more flexible. Now, this is going to be very apparent in your first week because in your first week, you're going to feel more homebody. And so if you're going to do something, say, okay, let me go and visit family members. Let me go visit a relative, see how they're doing because we are going into the holidays and we are in the holiday month anyway. So maybe that would be good. It's going to be in that second week from the 8th to the 9th when the moon is actually sitting in your sign of Pisces that you're going to feel the need to reflect, to go into somewhere, and you should go by a body of water or a piece of land and simply meditate, whether it's in the park, close your eyes, sit in a safe park, okay, because things are crazy nowadays. So just make sure you do that, but take some time for you and to soak up the sun and whatnot. But be prepared to, and when I say move, walk more. Nowadays we go from the house to the car to the mall back to the car back to the house. Well, this time movement is going to be very important, whether it's exercising, push-ups, knee squats, something. Make the body move. That's going to be very important. That's going to be an important thing. And the third week, around the 20th, 21st, 22nd, when the moon is actually sitting in your opposition sign of uh, Virgo, that may be a little bit more challenging. but at the same time, it's going to affect your financial affairs. So make sure you be very careful of how you're spending, how you are investing, how you want to move forward with your, and then, pay your bills. Don't be extravagant, because don't forget, we're going into Christmas week, and that's when people want to buy gifts and give gift givings and stuff like that. And so people are normally broke around about that time between Thanksgiving and Christmas. I don't know whether it's by design, but if you find that you open your wallet, open your pocketbook, and ain't too much in there but air, don't be surprised, okay? But in the last week, though, that's when you're going to feel the urge to complete things, feel the things are moving, and to begin to travel more. So when you get in the car, or whatever the case is, or jump on a plane to go somewhere, that would be about right, but it's going to be a fulfilling period for you. Those who are going to be of help to you will be Virgo, your opposition sign, believe it or not, along with Gemini, or people born on the 5th, the 14th, or the 23rd of the month. And the color to wear, believe it or not, is business gray. That's going to be a nice color to wear. Flannel gray, things of that nature. And as for the stone to wear or carry, that should be shungite and topaz. And there they have it for December. And we've done it, Miss Kimberly. We've completed all 12-month cycles.
Yeah, we did it.
Congratulated for starting this. I was minding my business. I really was.
Thank you so much for giving us
You're more
closure
welcome.
for this year, 2024. I know there's a lot of people who's ready to get into 2025, but
Mm-hmm.
slow down. We got 31 days to go.
And Mercury's still retrograde, so don't get too carried away. Just take it easy, take your time. How you speak, phones act up, computers act up, everything seems to act up. And especially see, because we're heading into a 9 year, which can be impulsive, is what they say, don't say something that your mouth can't catch. Okay? So make sure that, especially if it's something of an irritating, agitating, argumentative nature, make sure you kind of think first. It's not easy when somebody ticks you off, because you're going to give them, as my mother used to say, a piece of my mind, okay? When they give me a piece of that mind, that's it.
When you said that, I could hear my grandmother saying that.
Oh, yeah. Give them a piece of
Yeah.
your mind. So it's
So
going to
I
be.
have a few things I want to just talk about briefly um, before we end today.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, can you tell me about this?
Yes. 2024 was a year that a very dear friend encouraged me to do, and that is start a numerology workshop. And let me tell you, we've been successful. I had her sister give me a reading. She said, "Lloyd, this is going to be fabulous." She didn't lie. And the first one took place in July of 2024, on July the 15th, on 16th, on that Tuesday. And it was very successful. And many of the students who learned will actually be guests on my show. I'm not going to tell you they were my students, but they are at that level. They will be guests on my Live with Lloyd show. And then I did another one in the fall of September, October of this year, and that went great too. So, to say that is that a lot of people want to know about my class coming up for February of 2025, and I'll have another one in April. But the point is, you can do this for a living. Let me tell you why. A lot of people have been out of work. If you look at the employment record, the numbers, I think last month in November, it was like 12,000. Okay, that ain't nothing. 12,000 ain't nothing when you got a couple of million people in this country. And so what happens is people are finding it challenging to find jobs. With the numerologist, as a numerologist, you should never run out of work. You will always find there will be some living human being out here. You can go all over the planet. And in fact, in my first workshop in last summer, one of my students was in Thailand. Okay. Another one was in California. Another one was in Louisiana. And she talked about how she made connections there in Thailand using numerology. So it proved my point since I first started this, that with this skill, you can go all over the world. And now you don't need a translator, because now you got translating apps, and you say it into the phone, the person listens to it, they talk to you back. And I mean, listen, you get it made. So please, if you do, please enroll. The workshop will begin on February the 25th of 2025, and it is a limited offer. Seriously, we don't let too many people in. You can have as much money as what's that guy's name? Musk. He's got a couple of billions and billions of dollars. You can have all that money, but that don't mean you're gonna get in the class because it's only gonna be a chosen
I
few.
don't know. You said billions and billions.
Well, I'll let him in. I'll make an
Now,
exception.
I must say about this class, and really I must say that you are a master teacher. And I love the fact that you teach on a level that everybody or anybody can understand. That's what makes this so powerful. So, if you all are interested in taking this, as he said, this is exclusive. So, not everybody that applies will be accepted. But if you are interested, you can send an email to numbersandyou@gmail.com and just express your interest.
And there will be qualifying aspects of questions. So it ain't about like, yeah, you got the money. No. Can you fill out, do you qualify from the applications that we're going to ask of you? So in that way, it's
Yep.
going to be good.
But I got some more stuff though.
Get out of here.
Can you tell me about this?
Well, beginning in January, which is right after this month comes to an end, I'm going to start the Power Series. The first series is going to be about forecasting. What's in the stars for you individually? We're going to talk about what are your love months, your career months, your travel months, your money months, your health months. Talking about how to determine what cycle you're in. And not only determine you, but anybody close in your midst, your lady, your boo, or whoever else is important, your child, your parents, your relatives, even your frenemies. Find out how to get out of their way when things hit the fan for them. So the point is going to line. But the point is each and every month will be presented with a power series. So I'll just tease you with the first 3 months. So the first month in January is going to be forecasting. What is determining your cycles? Because timing is everything. The second month is going to be about relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, relationships with people in general. That's going to be amazing. The third week, and I'll leave it at that, is going to be on the power of precious metals. Do you know that silver is used to sometimes sanitize water? Gold is used universally for a lot of things. You would be surprised what the power, and we're going to have a guest featured on talking about precious metals and the sometimes holistic and medicinal modalities of using the power of precious metals to heal the self.
Thank you for
That's the
that.
entire
And
that's the entire year. One is going to be manifesting, one is going to be on visualization, one is going to be on finances, and this one is my love. Now, what people don't know is I love my numerology, and my second cousin, I love my astrology, but my third cousin is the art of the hand. Do you know your hand tells a lot? Shakespeare, Napoleon, the famous general, once says, "The face may deceive," which means a woman or man could put on the most wonderful facial appearance. When they open that hand and you look at them lines will tell you whether you lying or flying. Okay, that's all I'm saying. And yet, the hand is the most important instrument. I mean, all parts of the body is important, but the hand is the servant of the mind. You tie your shoe, you don't even think about it. You hug your child, you don't think about it. You hug a loved one, you shake a hand. There are many things. You scratch your nose or whatever the case is. The hand is very, very important, but you're going to learn about the more metaphysical side. What the headline means, which is your mentality, your lifeline, how long you could possibly gonna live, your heartline, the way you love. And for example, I'll show you a line when you see it in a person's hands. If that line is running over where it should not be, it tells me whoever you're dealing with, they're going to be very demanding that you love them. You will almost be their slave. You can save yourself a lot of wear and tear, you know. All right. And a whole lot more. How many children you're going to have? When you're likely to get married? This is going to be juicy stuff. And that starts on April the 13th.
I plan on being in this one.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to watch everybody's hand and say, give me that hand.
And
Even the fingers. Do you know the fingers are related to the stars? This finger is Jupiter. This is Saturn, of course. This is the sun, and this is Mercury, and a whole
You,
lot.
you have to come back to talk about palmistry. Don't forget.
Okay, I certainly will. I will give it a tease and then let them join the course.
And I have one more thing. This is on Wednesday, January the 1st. We will be having the 2025 Vision Board Mastery.
And I
You're going
signed
to
up
be
for it
there?
already, and I'm ready. I signed up for it.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
telling you right now, you should sign up for it too.
Okay. Make sure you're there.
Yeah, yeah.
And this is where we're going to manifest 2025 on purpose. We're going to learn the power of visualization. We'll learn techniques and tips, including how to create a vision board. And you're going to get to create your own vision board.
I
So
can't wait
you can't.
because I got some big things in mind on my vision board. All you got to do is just show me how to do it, and it's done. And I'm going
Oh,
to
you've
manifest it.
already been preparing.
Oh yeah. Mentally, I'm ready. I'm ready for this because
This
we
is
all have
going
vision.
to be a great workshop going into the year of the nine. You'll be able to learn how to manifest 2025 on purpose. So make sure you connect with that as well. And I'm going to say
Oh, I
one,
wanted to say, in keeping with this, the year we're going into 9, over and above endings, it means dreams come true or
yes,
manifestations. So, I mean, so there's the workshop is in perfect alignment with the way the year's going to start.
perfect alignment. All you got to do is come and get it.
Yep.
Come and get it lined up. And that's what all of this is about. Your numerology, even your astrology, all of these ancient sciences are about being able to align your life in a way that you can be able to manifest whatever it is you want to attract in your life. All you have to do is just apply the information, especially for the last 12 months. You've been getting month by month, week by week details of what you can expect for the month. You know when to pull back, you know when to go out and step out on faith. So when you follow these guidelines or blueprint, I even call it a roadmap sometimes, then it makes it easier for you to get to your destination. So I just want to say thank you for being able to share this wisdom and knowledge with us. And I want to thank all of the viewers who have hung in here with us for the entire 12 months and have been on the journey supporting. Thank
Yeah.
you so much. We can't thank you enough.
And imagine it just started out as an idea and just
Just an
blossomed
idea. That's an
and it took
idea.
off on its own. It became a life of its own, as they say. So here
Yep.
we are for those of you who do, and I want to say my part of thanking you very much. I hope this has been very helpful. We're always open to improvement, suggestions, comments, even criticism. That's how we improve. See, I'm not afraid that, like, hey, you should have said this better, or you should have included that. That's how we grow. We want to provide a better metaphysical service to you. That's all we
Yeah,
want to
and
do.
I don't know about you, but I love how people come and they tell what they've experienced
Yeah,
during
their
the month.
comments. Yeah,
I
yeah,
love that. So
yeah.
make
Can't make
sure
that
you
up.
leave a comment for us. And happy birthday, Sagittarians.
Yes,
Happy
yep, the
birthday.
Sagittarians. And also let us know in the comments whether you're looking at your sun sign, your moon, or your ascendant. Because some people say, well, my moon is important. So this is why we've included and came up with the concept that I think is very original, that if your sun, your moon, or ascendant is any of those signs, we're touching all the bases. And not
Do
only
you
that, but look
know
at other people in your life too. Hmm?
do you know that this was the first time that I listened to my ascendant sign? I can't listen to my moon because my sun and the moon are the same.
You so
But
so.
this is the first time like I paid attention to detail to my ascendant, because I never all I ever paid attention to was the sun sign.
Most people do. Most people do.
Yeah.
And if you look in newspapers, 90% is always sun sign. But those who get deeper into it will find, see, the sun sign represents the personality, the way we project. The moon represents the way we think, and the ascendant represents the way we appear to other people when they see us. You know, so my moon is in the sign of Scorpio. So you know, so I was thinking about the moon too. As I said, is that's how I'm thinking this particular month, or whatever the case is, you know. But it all depends. So it's hard for me to read myself. So I just let it go.
Oh, and I want to remind everybody that we just released the Year of the Nine 2025 Universal Year, and Lloyd details month by month what we can
From
expect
January to
next
December,
year.
what cities, countries, what signs are going to do well. We went in, as they say.
Yeah, yeah, you did.
Yeah. So that's released. That has been released, and that's now available on YouTube, right?
Yes, it's now available. So make sure you go back and check that out and
Yeah,
watch
it's a
that.
2025 forecast for the whole year. Whole
And I
year.
think each month I'm going to release that month,
Yeah, that'll be a good idea. That'll be a
re-release
good
the
idea.
month. Yeah.
So, Miss
So
Kimberly,
happy
I
New
need to
Year.
thank you very, very much. You
You're
have been such
welcome.
an inspiration. Because of you, my newsletter has grown in popularity. People have a choice of either reading the newsletter, which is totally different from how we express it in a narrative. And people enjoy it. People enjoy it. So the newsletter now has it whereby if you click on the link, they can go right to our audio cast and hear their signs, and they'll have a time frame and everything. And that way, and it's not just your sign, but listen to the sign of your mate, your child, whoever concerns you, a mom or dad or a friend or even a foe. Listen to see what's up with them. Am I right?
Like that's what's wrong with that boy this month. He crazy this month. You thinking he crazy, but
Yeah,
it's just a cycle he going through. Leave the
yeah,
baby alone.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. So I wish everybody a happy new year,
Happy New
and
Year, all
until
those other
next
things.
year,
Yeah.
enjoy it. Thanks so much.